Didn't I just do a video with a Discotek Blu-ray release of a Metal Hero series, an anime I really like, and a Lupin update? Because I feel like we're doing it again with Discotek's September releases.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and yeah, we're back already. The Discotek September releases shipped early for those that pre-ordered through Crunchyroll store. These were all scheduled for a September 24th release. That's the release date, at least on Amazon. Crunchyroll got them in the last week of August and shipped them out already, and they're already here, which was kind of insane, but kind of cool. We get to look at this way quicker than I thought we would. So, of course, our headliner here is Space Sheriff Shaider, or at least the headliner for this channel is Space Sheriff Shaider, the next Metal Hero release. We also have the final Lupin special that had not been released by Discotek, and we will take a look, of course, with that. We're not going to go super depth on the Lupin stuff because we just did that in the previous Discotek video. And then we have the Reborn special fan disc, which I want to explain what that is and talk about another series. These videos are really fun to do, and people have been enjoying them. They've been getting good views, so I'm going to keep doing these like every other month. It seems Discotek puts out some new releases. I'll just gather together what I picked up. Of course, there's other releases beyond what we're covering here for Discotek. These are the ones I purchased. I'm not sponsored by Discotek, but I would love to, do that someday if they're willing. But anyways, these are the ones I picked up. There are other releases for September. But if you do enjoy this and you want to see this series continue, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell if you haven't already. Those two things really help the channel grow and really help us push to get more people watching and therefore continue to do videos like this. I actually kind of like these a little bit more in-depth looks at multiple titles since they're all under the Discotek Media banner. So without further ado, let's take a look, starting with Lupin, and we'll go to Reborn, and then we'll end with Shaider. All right, Lupin the Third Italian game, special number 25 from 2016. This is an interesting one because this isn't like a completely new story. This is in fact based on episodes of Lupin the Third Part 4, the Italian adventure, hence Italian game. I believe it is a couple episodes recut with some new footage or maybe even a new episode, kind of a common practice in the anime industry in this era. So you have Lupin the Third, the Italian adventure. This is a nice companion piece to that, just so you have like everything. This is Japanese, subtitled in English. No English dub on this one, but it does have a creditless opening sequence, liner notes, and such. In this deadly game of chess, is Lupin the king or a pawn? So there we go. So you got Lupin here on this side of the spine, and you got this lady here on the other side. I know there's a lot of talk of some of the Lupin specials when the characters for the specials don't match the art style of the Lupin characters, but I think these later ones really did try to make a little cohesive look, which I appreciate. So then on the inside, of course, you got the same cover, but then we have our disc, and then we have the poster version of the poster, which is landscape on, it's portrait on a landscape printing on the inside of the case, which is pretty rad. That's kind of how all of the Lupin specials look on the inside. Adding to this, I did get Sweet Lost Night, which if you remember from the last video, I had not picked up yet. This is a perfect example of Lupin being Lupin and this lady looking like early 2000s. This 2008 special, so special number 20. So Sweet Lost Night, it's got Fujiko over here on this side. This was also a Japanese only with English subtitles. Kind of seems like the last few of these they had yet to put out were not getting dubs. I know they've dubbed some of them in the past. They got new dubs made for some of these releases, but not all of them. I want to say not all of them are worthy of dubs, but not all of them needed dubs. But these are the two that I did not have in the last video when we talked about that big Lupin update. So naturally I got to bring the whole stack in. I'm not bringing out all the Lupin Blu-rays. I had just done that. I just want to get all of the specials together. I only own all the ones on Blu-ray. I've seen pictures of people that have the DVDs. There's 5, just for those that hadn't seen the last video, there's 5 that aren't on Blu-ray. And I'm trying to balance this out, and it's not going well. Okay, let's see. We got special 25, and then special 20. And we're going to hope I don't spill the entire collection. There we go. So these are all the ones that have been released on Blu-ray. And so what we got is we're still missing on Blu-ray specials 2, 3, and 4, which will go there. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need 13. And then 14, we need 15. We got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. And that's when they stopped doing Lupin TV specials. So that is all of the Lupin specials. So there's 5 missing in total. But look how beautiful this is. This has taken them years to put together. This has been a very long time between the releases. You can see that from the product codes on the bottom if you zoom in. But yeah, it's incredible that we are at the point of we have 22 of the 27 specials in Blu-ray, and hopefully those other 5 are coming. I kind of have a feeling they will. For context, I guess we could do this. This would be kind of fun. Like, how many of these are dubbed? I'm trying to catch this stuff. They don't stand well. So Bye Bye Lady Liberty, special 1 that has an English dub. Let's see. We've got Voyage to Danger, which was a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. But, you know, so you got, this one was a little bit different. This is an earlier release where they did a combo pack thing going on. Voyage to Danger, this was special number 6. This had Japanese, English, and then Japanese 2.0 and English 2.0 on the DVD. So that's just Japanese, English. We've got Dragon of Doom. This one is English and Japanese. Special 7, The Pursuit of Harimao's Trevor, English and Japanese. The Secret of Twilight Gemini, special number 8, has 2 different English tracks and a Japanese track. The Island of Assassins, special 9, has English and Japanese. This one was also a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. Number 10, which is Tokyo Crisis, which has 2 English tracks, a 5.1 and a 2.0, and a Japanese. We got special number 11, The Columbus Files, with 2 English tracks and a Japanese. We've got a stack of Blu-rays that are trying to fall and break this whole thing. Missed by $1, special 12, 2 English tracks and Japanese. Episode 0, First Contact, which is special number 14. That one has English and Japanese. I believe this one was one of the dub debuts on Blu-ray. We've got special 16, which is Swallowtail Tattoo, Japanese only. Special number 17, Angel Tactics, Japanese only. Special 18, 7 Days Rhapsody, Japanese only. We've got special 19, The Elusiveness of the Fog, Japanese only. So you can see kind of at a certain point they just stopped dubbing them. Sweet Lost Night, special 20, Japanese only. 21, The Last Job, Japanese only. This one, Blood Seal of the Eternal Mermaid, special 22, had an all-new English dub, so English and Japanese. And then we've got The Secret Page of Marco Polo, special number 23, Japanese only. We've got Princess of the Breeze, special 24, Japanese only. We've got Italian Game, of course, we just talked about, special 25, Japanese only. And we've got Goodbye Partner, special 26, which has English and Japanese. And then lastly, we've got Prison of the Past, special 27, which has English and Japanese. So I'd say, I don't know, I didn't count, but is that about half have an English dub and half don't? But whatever it is, 5 more specials on Blu-ray, and we'll have them all on one format, which is incredible. So really impressive stuff. Okay, next up we have the Reborn Special Fan Disc, which has a lot of context behind it. This series was, I don't want to say one of the forgotten shonen of the 2000s, but sort of one of the overlooked shonen of the 2000s. See, the thing is, especially when it comes to the Western anime manga fandoms, there was a lot of shonen in the 2000s. It was the big boom where anime and manga were really making their big staple, and so pretty much everything got licensed that came out in that era. There was very few things left behind. However, because of the just massive glut of shonen-related material, some stuff did get kind of forgotten over time, like Shaman King, you know, even with its anniversary remake anime and its reprinting in the manga, still feels like most people don't really know Shaman King that well. There's some other titles within that, like Reborn, that just sort of got, I want to say forgotten, because I feel like that's wrong, because people do definitely remember these shows, but they're definitely got overlooked, because in the 2000s, you not only had, like, what was, like, new and current, like, you didn't just have Naruto and Bleach, and One Piece didn't really hit it off until, like, the 2010s here, if we're being honest. You not only had all that, but you had Dragon Ball, which, while it started airing in the late 90s in the US, it was really hitting its peak in the early 2000s, right when all this other stuff was coming out. And we had Yu Yu Hakusho, which came later, and we had current stuff like Reborn. It sort of ended up kind of just falling to the wayside. The interesting part as well with Reborn as a series is that it is kind of late 2000s. I think it was around, I don't know what year it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, the point is that with Reborn, this was a series that not only got kind of waylaid by the fandom and kind of put aside by just general anime fandom, but also by licensing. So the thing is that with Reborn, there was a series. So before we get to the fan disc, let's talk about the series. Here's the series. Discotek did release it. It ran for 203 episodes, which is a heck of a long run. And it never got an English dub, and it never got wide release. In fact, I think it wasn't until close to the end of its run when it started getting simulcast on Crunchyroll. This was a series that just didn't get picked up for licensing, which is kind of a shame for a lot of reasons, because it is very unique in its own way. The only thing we did get was the manga, but, I had read the manga back when it came out. You can see my very yellowed, this is a first edition copy. This is a first printing of Volume 1 from October 2006. And it was under the Shonen Jump Advanced line, which is for like your T+ rating, whereas everything else is teen. So I remember, I believe, and any historians want to correct me, go for it. I believe the first chapter was included in the Shonen Jump magazine, the US version of the Shonen Jump magazine, and then they said, oh, if you want to read more, go pick up Reborn Volume 1, because of the teen+ content didn't match with the T content that was in the rest of the magazine. But I went and read it. I read several volumes of this. I had several volumes. But the problem is that of, I think, the 42 volumes that actually got published for the series in Japan, I think we only got 12 or 14, something like that. It kind of got cut off really early. So we didn't even get the full story here. I mean, it definitely fared better than Bobobo getting one manga volume. So the thing was that this was Reborn's like officially licensed presence in the 2000s, was the manga, and the manga didn't get its full run, and then finally the anime came over, but it was, Japanese only, and it was on Crunchyroll, which was a fledgling service at the time, as opposed to the giant greedy monopoly it is now. So the thing is that Reborn, in a lot of ways, is something that even I had kind of set aside in my brain, because I never really had completed it. Other series that we talked about that just ended up not hitting the same popularity stride, like Shaman King, at least we got all of the original manga. We've gotten all the redo manga. That's a whole video for another day. But with Reborn, we never got the full manga, and we didn't really get the show in a wide release. And which is just a shame, because this is, it's kind of your normal shonen setup, multi-characters, everyone's got different powers, it's got a high school setting, but it has this weird little guy named Reborn who's a hitman whose gun will like fire into your head, and it will allow you to unleash the desire of your regret that you had when you died, and then eventually reborn you. Which is an insane premise, and it just kind of builds out from there, because this is like a whole story of like mafias, and this mafia family's like last member in the line is this kid named Suna, and everything just goes crazy from there. It's one of like the zaniest shows, and it's one of the, I remember the manga being hilarious. But like I said, I even kind of set it aside because I knew there was an anime. I didn't know it was licensed. Eventually I was like, maybe I'll watch it on Crunchyroll. Back in the days I had Crunchyroll, and I kind of started it, but then I kind of lost track of it. And then Discotek was like, here, we put the whole show out on SD Blu-ray. And I was like, oh, I should probably pick that up, because, I've never seen like most of this story. And then also finding out that the anime doesn't adapt the last arc of the manga, and so I have to go look for fan scanlations, I guess. So the thing was, I finally, this year, actually, thanks to my dad for buying these for my birthday, but finally picked up the series. So this is, I guess, also a review of the Reborn SD Blu-ray release. What's amazing is that, for those that aren't aware, SD Blu-ray is standard definition video on a Blu-ray disc, which means each of these discs contains like 51 episodes, essentially. So like disc 1 is episodes 1 through 51, disc 2 is episodes 52 to 101, and then volume 2, containing the rest of the show, has 102 to 151 and 152 to 203 on its 2 discs. And there actually is interior art on this one, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I really want to see how this show progresses, and I'm really looking forward to watching all of it. I hadn't had a chance to yet because I just got these like a couple weeks ago, and then now the special fan disc is already here. But I'm looking forward to watching this because I feel like I myself included sort of let this show just kind of slip away to the passage of time. Now, with all that said, of course, there's 203 episodes. The reason it didn't get dubbed is because it wasn't popular enough to justify a dub. It wasn't a breakout hit. And so because of that, Discotek has kind of given us a little bit of a treat here with Reborn Special Fan Disc. This is a cool idea. I really do think that this is neat, and I really want to see more of this. So what is the Reborn Special Fan Disc besides some really nice artwork? This is 3 episodes of the TV show, episodes 1, 20, and 77, as well as an OVA that wasn't included on the series set, dubbed into English. It also does include the Japanese versions as well with English subtitles. Of course, this is what if a Reborn dub existed. This is what it would sound like. And there it is. There's the Reborn Special Fan Disc. This is such a cool idea. They've said it would be prohibitively expensive to dub 203 episodes. It just wouldn't, the money, they would not make up for the money. Which when you're a home video company dubbing something, you've got to make sure you can make up the money. Hence why the King of Brays Gal Gaigar dub is only half done, because they do not make enough money to dub the second half. So this is not like, oh, it's like a preview of the dub. No, they're not going to be doing a full dub of the show. This is just to give you 3 iconic episodes and the OVA with an English dub. And there's some really cool stuff in here. You got a clean ending and bloopers. But there's little pieces of dubbing casting that I really appreciate, like Veronica Taylor's playing Reborn, because she would have probably played Reborn if this was dubbed back in the era. And I think that's such a cool idea. The dub sounds like it's a late 2000s dub, and it sounds great, and I think it's awesome. And this is just such a treat, because this is a series that did get so sidelined. And this is kind of like we can't do a full dub, but let's give you a taste of what that dub would be. And it's definitely a passion project, and I think it's super awesome. Also, on top of that, it does line up pretty good spine-wise with the series. You can see you got the little, like, Hitman thing here. I do not know why my Collection 1 has the curved edges and my Collection 2 has the soft edges. I'm assuming Collection 1's a reprint with curved edges, but anyways, they look nice enough on the shelf, but it's just such a cool little piece. I do want to take a look at this because if you do notice, these are standard definition Blu-ray, but this is Blu-ray Blu-ray. They did upscale the 3 episodes and the OVA to 1080i, so let's take a look at that and talk about the on-disc contents for the Reborn Special Fan Disc. All right, here's the menu for the Reborn Special Fan Disc. Looking nice, really cool piece of artwork here. So, of course, we have our play all. We have our episodes, which, of course, will lead you to episode. The OVA is first. So if you hit play all, it's going to play you the OVA first. And then episodes 1, 20, and 77. Of course, we have our setup here, which the setup, English stereo, Japanese stereo, subtitles of full English, songs and signs are off. Very neat, very clean subtitle menu. And then for extras, you get the OVA's clean ending, so without the extra, text on the visuals. And then you get the dub bloopers. The dub bloopers come with a warning that it contains spicy language. That's because the special, while not officially rated in the series itself, is, like a teen series. But, yeah, there's a little bit harsher language in the bloopers as things happen, and they're pretty funny if you are of the appropriate age to be watching. So for those wondering about video quality, like I said, these were upscaled to 1080i, so they're not like a full 1080p. And for the most part, this is a pretty good upscale. When I was watching some of the first episode, because I wanted to get a feel for the upscale, but also the English dub, which I think the English dub is terrific. It's really a nice bonus. Some background characters get a little muddy. It's not like perfect, but it's what they had to work with, because it was a show that was an SD. They didn't have a HD master. And it looks pretty good for an upscale. It's not amazing, it's not revolutionary, but it is a nice upgrade. And have no fear, this isn't like some other upscales from other animes where everything got super blobby and weird because they upscaled to HD. The line work is pretty crisp. It's not like sharp, but it's crisp, and honestly, it looks good. I don't have any complaints with how this looks. It looks pretty solid. So pretty nicely stacked disc for those who are fans of Reborn that wanted just a little bit of a treat for being a fan, and I think that's what makes this release great. Space Sheriff Shaider, the third in the Space Sheriff trilogy, the final component of that subsection of the Metal Hero series, now on Blu-ray. This is incredible that we have had so many Metal Hero releases, considering this is, quote-unquote, the least popular Toku franchise. There are other Toku series that aren't part of big franchises, but in terms of, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Metal Hero is the lagging one in that group. I think it's still maybe more popular than Garo, but I feel like Garo does have a bit of more of a fan base. But because Toei doesn't really do anything with the Metal Hero franchise, it sort of gets forgotten to time, which is a shame because most fans of Kamen Rider would really enjoy Metal Hero, since a lot of the ideas that modern Kamen Rider would use from the 80s onward kind of come from Metal Hero in a lot of ways. They're very shared and similar, and the Metal Hero shows take place in the Super Sentai universe. So it really is kind of sad that more people don't check out Metal Hero. But with the fact that we are now at 5 officially released Metal Hero shows on Blu-ray, I'm hoping more people are going to watch Metal Hero, because look at this. Also, myself included. I have not watched all of these in full. I'm kind of waiting to, I want to do a binge now that we have all 3 Space Sheriff shows. I want to go through all of them in order. We have 5 shows now from Discotek. 3 on Blu-ray with Gavan, Sharvan, Shaider. 2 on SD Blu-ray with Just Beyond and Jiban. And we know that Winspector's coming. So this is amazing. We're up to 6 confirmed Metal Hero shows. It's practically half the franchise. We're getting close to. Very, very exciting. Now, the interesting part as well is assumptions were made, which, I think we're all accustomed to, that sometimes the adaptation could block a release of the original Japanese version. Kind of like how Shout has to go through Hasbro to go through Toei to license Super Sentai. Or there may be some series unavailable for licensing like Masked Rider because Toei owns that series. With the case of Space Sheriff Shaider, the question was brought up, would VR Troopers using Shaider in its second season be a problem? And the answer ultimately was no. And it's really nice to see, because between this and Black RX, 2 shows that were adapted by Saban in the 90s, we should be in the free and clear for Metalder and Spielbahn, the other 2 VR Troopers shows, and hopefully we're in the clear for the B-Fighters, because there's been some issues with the merchandise coming over for B-Fighter, but hopefully that will be resolved by the time Discotek goes to release it. Because I don't think anybody else is looking for doing Metal Hero besides Discotek, and I wouldn't want anybody else. So, Shaider here, I think, has a fantastic cover. Really cool shot of Shaider. Nice shot of a villain and the villain's base back here in front of the Earth. And then the really cool, light effect. On the spine, of course, you got a shot of Shaider. This is Toku Time release number 8. And then on the back, it, kind of goes through your standard stuff. All 49 episodes, no movies included. But hopefully we'll get the movies later down the line. Japanese with English subtitles. Inside, even cooler shot. I love this cover. Once again, the main villain, who is he's the big bad, and he's just basically a giant face in a wall. So it's kind of cool they include him, but really cool stuff. If you've never checked out Space Sheriffs, and especially Shaider, there's so many cool effects. Shaider's beam sword effect, which I'll try to show a screen cap of it when we get to the disc contents. It's one of my favorite things ever. So anyways, cool shot of the villains in the back, and then Shaider over here in front of the Earth. And so disc 1, you got the cover art for Shaider. Disc 2, the interior art. Disc 3 is that shot of Shaider, and then disc 4 is that villain. I like how he fits the whole disc, which is super cool. And you see how this little gaping hole in his forehead? That's where the disc goes. Pretty cool stuff. I am very excited to show you guys a little bit of Shaider, because also I got to tell you, Shaider has the most infamous Christmas episode, I think, in Tokusatsu history. It is some horrifying stuff, and it's amazing at the same time. I don't know exactly, if there was a concern board for children in the 80s in Japan with their hero shows, but there probably should have been for the Shaider Christmas episode, and that almost is enough to buy the set on its own. But let's take a look at the on-disc contents and go over some details of what's included. Space Sheriff Shaider, really cool menu picture here of Shaider with his sword, and then we've got, of course, our options to play all. You have your episodes. Disc 1 contains episodes 1 through 13, which is pretty standard at this point, and then subtitles on or off. Once again, big shout out to the subtitle crew at Discotek for, I say crew because I think it's just one person, but doing the typeface in the style and the font style and the color grading that matches the logo is amazing. Same goes for any title cards. It almost looks like it was always there. That's how well it fits and how well it blends. So subtitle font, yellow font for dialogue, blue font italicized for insert songs, and all the insert songs are subtitled, which is incredible. Visually, the series looks stellar. This is using Toei's HD remaster. While shots that have visual effects added are going to look a little fuzzier, not as crisp, the shots that are just in-camera pure film stock look amazing. It really looks incredible for how old this series is. It just is super sharp. You are going to notice some drop-off in visual quality when there's a ton of effects on screen because of the nature of making effects back in the 80s. But any of these shots that aren't effects-based just look amazing. So as you can see here, this is going to be a little bit of a fuzzier shot because it is a model going in front of a background. And this is how the title cards are done when things are introduced. They get the full translation done as well. But then you can see a shot like this, which is just in-camera effect, and it looks so sharp, it looks so crisp. It's really incredible to see a show well restored like this. So you can see a shot like this where Annie's got her gun and she's shooting blasts. The blast part has been added, even though the explosion is practical. So the final shot is not as crisp as the film-only shots because it was finished in a different way with that extra effect added. This right here is one of my favorite effect shots in any series because I just love the way that all works out. It's amazing. So yeah, when you're watching the show, it looks good, it looks solid, it sounds great. It's honestly a really well-presented series considering its age, and I'm really glad to see it so well represented on an official release. Here's disc 2 with a very nice shot of Shaider, and this has episodes 14 through 26 on it. Now disc 3, another shot of Shaider, contains episodes 27 through 39. In case you're wondering, 39 is the very cursed Christmas episode. Yes, the villain's plot is to indoctrinate children into a cult that worships an upside-down crucified Santa Claus. Why do you ask? Yes, this is Scheider's Christmas episode, and it's an insane trip. I don't even know how to put it into words. This is just one frame from a whole 25-minute episode. Like I said, it may be worth buying this release just for this. So on disc 4, we have a shot from the crossover of Gavan, Sharavan, and Shaider that takes place towards the end of the series. Really cool image there. And then episodes 40 through 49 on this disc, because there's a little bit less episodes because we do have the bonus features, which include the series preview, a little preview video, liner notes by Mike Dent, who wrote an essay on the history of the series. Really cool visuals, really cool stuff as well. Talks about the Space Sheriff trilogy as a whole as well. So this makes a nice companion to the Sharavan and the Gavan releases. We also have a really cool photo gallery option, which is images from the various guidebooks and releases that have come out over the years. And there are some really nice high quality scans of some of these rare images. Plus there is a nice reunion anniversary interview for the 35th anniversary of the series, and that is included in full here, and that runs an hour and 5 minutes, which is incredible. And as a cool bonus, there's this karaoke version of the theme song, which plays the instrumental that you would need for karaoke, including the lines with the guideline of how to read it. Now, unfortunately, there are no English subtitles for this for a Romanji version of the song, but I don't know exactly the reason for that. It would have been nice to have, so you could have sung along if you're not singing in Japanese and reading the katakana, but still a cool inclusion nonetheless. So this is a wonderful treasure trove of extras that keeps Shaider on par with Gavan and Sharavan as some really solid releases of tokusatsu series from a forgotten franchise that deserves more love and attention. Alright, so the Shaider release is pretty great. Of course, here it is with the other Toku Time releases from Discotek. So they've been numbering these. We got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 2 was a movie that I just really don't have any interest in. And I don't display my Toku Time releases in order like this on the shelf, so I'm not really too worried about not owning those two. And then, of course, we have 2 of their prior non-Toku Time Toku releases with Just Beyond and Cutie Honey the Live. This is just an amazing sub-brand of a pretty stacked catalog from a company, and I really enjoy all these releases. These have been terrific. Just Beyond was kind of like the first, and Cutie Honey was a big deal before we got into Gavan, and then Black and Black RX, and Sharavan, Hurricane Palomar, Mobile Cop Jiban, and now Space Sheriff Shaider. So pretty amazing, And I of course have to wait, but I can't wait for Commodore V3, Shaider, and Winspector to join this lineup in the near future. So pretty amazing stuff, and just terrific all around. So that does it for my pickups from the September releases from Discotek Media. There, of course, are more in the future, and I look forward to doing more videos like this. So like I said, if you did enjoy this and you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe and the notification bell. Please tell me in the comments what you picked up from their September releases, or what you picked up from them recently, or whatever Blu-rays you picked up recently. Share those down below. And if you want to share your own Blu-ray hauls and have discussions and ask questions with a large community of people, join our Discord server. We got a lot of Blu-ray folks in there. We have a whole Blu-ray channel, and we do a lot of cool discussions, and we share and swap info, and it's a good time. It's a good community to join. Plus, if you want to keep up with future Blu-ray news and other updates in the world of tokusatsu, anime, and beyond, join our live streams on this YouTube channel every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We do pretty much like a live news show, and it's pretty fun. I do enjoy doing that. Also, if you want to help support the channel directly to help continue to support videos like this and the purchasing of items to review, please consider joining as a channel member. It helps the channel directly, and you can get perks like early access to videos, special member shoutouts, and member exclusive live streams depending on what tier you join. And let's give some special shoutouts to our channel members. Special shout out to all of our channel members, including our Captain tiers, Spin-54, Toma K, MasterBen95, Jamie's World, Jack Move Johnny, Yukino Sayuki, Michael Flores, Steel, Aaron, Rabbitman, Shigs, Jess Hood, Vigo, Common Pikachu, Geets, Andy Stutz, Joy-Con Girl, Dazagdo, Ben Odinson, Forever1000, Izuto727, Philippe Saruno, Star Warrior Robbie, Gustav, Cameron Meter, Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss Edit, Isabella Lawrence, Digital Realm, Stay at Home Meatbag, and Kyle. Thank you all for your support of this channel. Also, if you so wish, you can find me across most social media platforms at Soundout12. You can find my awesome graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClaw643. And you can find Hero Club at hero-club.com for tokusatsu, anime, news, interviews, reviews, and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.